This is Law of Attraction Explored. I'm Tim Grimes. If you'd like a free guide that explains the hidden link between relaxation and the law of attraction, or if you want more information about my books or my coaching, you can visit radicalcounselor.com. Enjoy the episode. So, this is the 100th episode of the podcast. And I thought it would be appropriate to have a slow meditative episode reflecting on what we so often reflect on, which is, quite simply, the present moment. Recognizing what the present moment is. And this isness is always here. Many people are trying to manifest certain things in their life, utilize certain techniques to change reality. But as we have gone over and reminded ourselves of time and time again in this show, we can recognize the power of these law of attraction principles simply by being here, now, without necessarily trying to change anything or even improve anything in our life. We can become the abundance we seek. We can actualize it. The improvements that we want to make in our life can be realized now, experientially, internally, by simply being here. And by doing this, often our external world does eventually change. Sometimes quickly, sometimes gradually. But regardless, we are here. We are here. I don't know how many more episodes of this show I'll do. 100 was a good number in my mind. And we say the same thing in almost every episode. And I love saying the same thing. And at the same time, there's nothing ever to say. And now we've said it together 100 times. What you're looking for, you already are right now. What I'm looking for, I already am right now. What you are is what I am right now. What I am is what you are right now. Almost all the great religions say there's nothing to seek. You look within and you realize you already have it. And as often as we might forget this advice, and it seems as if almost all of us forget it quite often, it nonetheless is true and stands the test of time as being true. One of the law of attraction teachers who explains this best is Joel Goldsmith, who we have referred to several times over the past year or so, because he eloquently explains how there is so little that we need to manifest, perhaps nothing we need to manifest in the way we think we need to. And that the only thing to this practice, if you want to call it that, is recognizing what we already are, what we already have, what we will always have, which is now the present moment. Or another word for that, if you want to use a psychological term, the way that Emile Coué and Neville Goddard did, is imagination. And if you want to use a spiritual term, you could simply say God. Your imagination is now. Your thinking is now. God is now. And whenever we recognize this, truly recognize it, we have complete fulfillment. It's not out there. It's in here within us the whole time. In Invisible Supply, Goldsmith writes, "Today would be a great day to give up our search for God and let God find us right where we are. Yea, though I make my bed in hell, God will find me there. If I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, God will find me there." We do not have to search for or seek God. We only have to know that He is with us always and will never leave us or forsake us, and we can rest in that word. When we do not, it is as if we pulled down our window shades and then went searching for sunlight. The kingdom of God is within you. Why search anymore? Simply acknowledge that God is closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet. Acknowledge, I and the Father are one, right here and now, and the place whereon I stand is holy ground. It makes no difference if where I am standing is hell. Remember that at some time, in some place in our experience, each of us stands in hell. It may be the hell of sin. It may be the hell of disease. It may be the hell of lack and limitation, of unemployment, of danger, of insecurity. All of these things are hellish, horrid experiences, but they become transformed when we realize that even in the midst of this hell, Thou art here. I do not have to search for God, even in this hell, for Thou art here, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Acknowledge, the place whereon I stand is holy ground. Why? Because God is there. Why search for God who is standing in your shoes? Since God is omnipresent, can God be away from where you are? Since God fills all space and time, is there some place or time away from where God can be? The Father is in the midst of you wherever you are. He is omnipresent, always present. That's Joel Goldsmith describing what we always talk about. And we don't have to call it God. We can call it our imagination. We can call it the present moment. We can call it now. We can call it whatever we want. But I think you will find, if you've been practicing these various law of attraction and spiritual ideas and principles in your life for long enough, whatever you call it, it is true. And it is salvation.